Hey, church family, it's John here. I hope you're doing well this week. There's a lot going on, I know, and so with all of the highs and lows and the changes that have been taking place and all the news that's been coming out, I pray that you've had a positive week in the midst of all of it, that you've been able to keep encouraged in the Lord in the midst of what continues to flow through the news cycle, and to recognize that Jesus is indeed King, and we can continue to find our hope and our trust in Him. I have some announcements I want to bring to you, but before I do, I wanted just to share a quick word that came to me out of the book of Habakkuk. In this book, the prophet Habakkuk was ministering in Judah right before the time when the Babylonians were going to rush down from the north along the Fertile Crescent, come down from the north and invade their land. And Habakkuk is having kind of this wrestling match with God, this conversation with God. And in the midst of all of this, Habakkuk comes to a point where he recognizes that even though things look like they're really bleak and difficult and frankly terrible around him, that God is still good and sovereign and on his throne. And so he shares this at the end of the book in Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 17. He says, "Even though the fig trees have no blossoms, and there are no grapes on the vines, even though the olive crop fails, and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields and the cattle barns are empty." So he's looking across this land of just devastation and in his mind's eye anticipating what's to come. And he says, even though all these things are taking place, he says this, verse 18, "Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, able to tread upon the heights." And my prayer for you, church, is that in the midst of all that's going on, you would recognize that God is still sovereign, He is still good, and because of that, we could be very sure-footed in the midst of shaky ground, so to speak. We could be sure-footed in the Lord as He is a firm foundation. So hold fast to that in the midst of all that we have going on. A couple of things I wanted to mention as far as just some keys for this week. First of all, a reminder that we will not be gathering for our Sunday morning worship services for the time being until further notice at this point. The same goes for our Wednesday evening gather nights. So Sunday morning and Wednesday evening are both called off at this point in time. But I'm excited to introduce to you something that we're calling ABC Lighthouses of Worship. Each and every one of our homes is being transformed into a church, so to speak, as we all have an opportunity in our distinct areas of this community, in our different home environments, to come together and worship the Lord just the same. We have an opportunity to gather together as our families or with maybe those who are near to you and maybe even on your own, but an opportunity to come and to worship in a bit of a different way. These kinds of situations afford us an opportunity to worship differently and to try new ways of worship. And so I'm excited to do that with you. We emailed out to you, and I hopefully you're on our email list. We try to get everybody on there. If you're not, let us know. But we emailed to you a worship format, an order of service, so to speak, that provides you a way to worship the Lord in a variety of ways, through prayer and through discussion and through sharing psalms. And there's even music, as I've put a couple of links on there for worship together. And also there's going to be a message that I'm putting on our new YouTube channel, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But there will be a message for you available starting at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings as well. And I say starting because you can watch it at any time. Once it's posted on there, you can watch it at 9 or 10 or 11, whatever time makes more sense for you and for your family. But just know that ABC Lighthouses of Worship is really what we're calling our opportunity to expand out into our community and have different little mini houses of worship, churches, so to speak, gathered together, even if it's just your family, in order to worship the Lord in unity as one body in Christ. And so, again, that detailed information has been emailed to you. Take a look at that. Also, as I mentioned, we have a new YouTube channel. Thanks to Marissa Stamberg for helping us get that set up. That YouTube channel is going to be operational pretty quick here, and will certainly be up and running for Sunday morning. So check it out. All you have to do is search for Alliance Bible Church Anchorage, and that's how you find our YouTube channel. Some other things that are going to be going on the tech side for you. We are updating our website, and I'll let you know when it's complete, but we're updating our website to have a page for announcements. And so you'll be able to see our announcements on our website. We are also going to be getting our message videos on our website as well. So instead of just an audio podcast, we'll have our video messages on the website, and that's still in the works. So we'll let you know when that's completed. And also we're going to be developing a texting capability in order to communicate, I think, a little more effectively with you, a little speedier than just through email. And so once that is up and running, we'll let you know about that as well. Something else we're doing is we are developing and really putting together a list of helpers, those in our church body who feel like they are able to serve those in need, maybe some of those higher risk folks in our church body, or those who just can't get out for one reason or another to get to the store or to shovel snow, or it could be a number of different things. But if you feel like you'd be able to help in some way, whether it be running errands for folks or helping with chores, if you would contact me or contact the church office in the next few days, that would be really, really helpful. You can email us and let us know, yeah, I'm in. I'm ready to help. I want to help. I want to be a part of serving our church body. So we're calling all helpers right now to do that. And also to give you a heads up, and just a reminder that when it comes to the operations of our church, giving is still the means to keep our church operating and running. It is through your gifts and your tithes and your offerings that we are able to support our staff, and it's through that we're able to operate as a church, and also the vast majority of our ministries run through your donations and your giving. So I encourage you to give as the Lord leads you, joyfully and regularly. Now, a couple of ways to do that. If you want to mail a check-in to us, feel free and do that. And that will go to our general fund. If you want to designate anything to the Great Commission Fund to support our international work, you can designate a portion of that as well. But it is through the general fund that most of our ministries and operations are funded. So the general fund is our main fund. And you can also drop that by the church office Monday to Thursday, 7:30 to about 1:30 in the afternoon. That would work as well. The other way is through online giving, and we encourage you to consider online giving. And the details of how to to do that are emailed to you. So take a look at the emails that were sent out recently with some of those details. But online giving is another way where you can give through your bank account or your credit card. There are different ways to do that, and it's a fairly simple process. So I encourage you to consider that as well. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your offerings, because that does keep us running and operating as a mission right here in the Anchorage community. So I appreciate your service through giving, and I appreciate your generous hearts. That's just about all that I've got for you at this point in time. Continue to love one another well. Continue to look for ways to serve and to help. Continue to reach out and ask for help if you need it, as we want to be serving and meeting the needs of our people. And continue to recognize that in the midst of everything going on, we have a Lord who is sovereign and on his throne, and he is good. And so embrace the truth of that each and every day. And the Lord bless you, church. I'm with you in this, and if there's anything we could do, continue to let us know right here at the church office. God bless you.